Hi guys, good morning, and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in this morning's video, I will be addressing my immediate reaction and thoughts on the latest and greatest trailer for the new film, The Mummy, which hits theaters this summer, June 9th, from Universal Pictures. This looks great. This looks like fun. After watching it, I thought to myself, this looks like the perfect summer movie. I mean, it's got elements of action, suspense, horror, and a little bit of humor and a little bit of romance. It seems like it has a little bit of everything, really. And, excuse me a second. Excuse me. And this trailer just felt so much fun, and I just hope it translates well into the film, from trailer to movie, that it feels fun, because that's what you want from a summer movie, is a sense of fun, especially a Universal movie, at least in my opinion. So a couple things were revealed to us. Number one, her tomb, or prison, as Annabelle Wallis put it, is discovered by accident. And as she says, it's not a tomb, it's a prison. And it looks like the ancient Egyptians went as so far as to bury her coffin underwater, because Tom Cruise's character, who's apparently named Nick, shoots, and that sets off a rope thing that starts pulling up the coffin, and it looks like it's being pulled up from underwater. So it's like an underwater pond or something, underground pond or something, because it was, the tomb was underground in this big cavern, and there was like a little pond there. So they actually had to bury her in a coffin and then put that coffin underwater. Do you really want to be waking something up or messing with something that you have to pull out of the water? No, you don't. And then Annabelle Wallis's character explained who she was, ancient princess who was supposed to become the ruler of ancient Egypt. Something happened where she had this craving for or lust for power, where it looks like she killed the previous pharaoh or leader, and as a punishment, she's mummified alive, which is good. They're sticking to the original story of the mummies, like to punish her for their actions. They mummify them alive, and this movie just looks like fun. And it had like mummies. It had scary looking mummies. It had mummies swimming underwater. Ew. And it had big bugs, and it had like swarming rats, which is always terrifying to see. I'm really curious as to how Dr. Jekyll gets involved in this, because as we saw, he was explaining to Nick, Tom Cruise's character, he's been chosen, like Princess Amenette saved him. We saw the plane crash in the first trailer and in this trailer. And in the first trailer, it's like, well, he survived the plane crash. Is he going to have powers now? I don't think he's going to necessarily have powers. I think Princess Amenette simply chose to save him. Like, she used her powers to save him from being killed on the impact when the plane hit the ground. Instead of him dying, she saved him because she's chosen him. Like Russell Crowe said, Dr. Jekyll said, she's chosen him to be the source for regaining her powers. Maybe she senses he's a strong human being and he's a good sacrifice or a good source of power for her. Or maybe because he's the one who unintentionally freed her or released her from her tomb. At least that's what it looks like. He's the one who used his gun to shoot the rope to lift her coffin out of the water. So she's like, oh, this guy saved me, so I think I'll use him as my source of power or something. So I don't think Tom Cruise is going to have any superpowers per se. I think, he's going to be spared by the mummy, but she'll only spare him long enough until she needs him to kill him to become completely powerful. I'm curious as to how Dr. Jekyll gets involved in this, how they drag him in, if he's already aware of the situation with the mummy, or if Tom Cruise's character or Annabelle Wallis's character reach out to him for help or for consulting or something like that. I'm also curious as to who exactly is holding the princess captive, because we saw a couple soldiers in the woods shoot her up with some, like, not tranq guns, but like, I would almost not crossbows, but those guns like grappling hooks, like grappling hook guns, and they go into her shoulder and into her side. It's like they're holding her down like an animal. And then we see her caged and chained up, like with her arms behind her back like this. and it looks like she's being held by dark forces or something. And when I say dark forces, I mean like dark government forces, because these guys are staying around in Black Ops military gear. So I wonder if the government is trying to keep it under wraps that they've actually unearthed an ancient evil, but obviously she won't stay quiet for long. I'm excited for this movie. I was already excited for this movie. I liked the first trailer. I love this second trailer even more. I was hoping we would get a little tease or a glimpse as to Dr. Jekyll transforming into Mr. Hyde. However, I realized that they may not do this, at least for this film. I think it is worth noting, however, in a behind the scenes featurette that was released a few months ago, that during they were showing some they weren't showing footage, but they were the footage revealed was them filming scenes, and there was a scene between Russell Crowe and Tom Cruise where it looks like some kind of fight scene where Russell Crowe seemed to have freakish inhuman strength, and he was using it to throw Tom Cruise around. Of course, this was all done on B-roll, so Tom Cruise is being held up by strings or something. But who knows? Maybe we'll see him transform into Mr. Hyde, maybe not. Either way, he doesn't necessarily have to transform into Mr. Hyde. It's just enough knowing that he's there. We know he's Dr. Jekyll, and we know who he can become. So that's pretty exciting. But the sole focus of the film will most likely be on the one monster who's in it, which is the Mummy. So Mummy hits theaters June 9th this summer. Be sure to check back later for how to get excited for a video here on the EdWord. And also don't forget to check out my Facebook page in the description down below. I think you'll like what you see. And check back later tonight for my episode review and reaction to the Season 7 finale for AMC's The Walking Dead, which debuts tonight on AMC. Check your local listings for times. It looks like it's going to be a fun one. I'm getting excited. I hope you guys are excited. All right, guys, have a great rest of the day if I don't see you again, and I hope to see you again when you tune back later for my episode review of Walking Dead. All right, guys, have a great weekend, and of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.